something's been coming into your awareness after suicide loss, but you keep delaying, dismissing, avoiding what it's trying to show you, then this message is for you. My dear fellow survivor, welcome. I'm so honored you're here with me today, because today I answer a question that so many survivors have, and it's a question I had myself for a long time. And this question is, if something keeps gnawing at me, right, keeps coming into my awareness, and I'm just delaying, I'm just ignoring, I'm just, thinking it's going to go away, or I'm overthinking something, and it just keeps coming back, then how am I supposed to move through that and heal? Rightfully so, rightfully so. And the answer lies in making a distinction between receiving awareness and delaying awareness, right? So awareness is the first knock on the door, right? It's telling you that healing requires attention about something. So something comes into the awareness. For me today it was, when I keep delaying my transmissions, right? I might get an insight about what I want to tell you in the morning very early, but then I'll delay until later, and I'll transmit the message later, right? And I kept going down that path, and I realized, well, actually, that is changing the message, because I'm not telling you right then and there what's coming in, right? So it's not helpful. So in other words, awareness was delaying my, it was just delaying my discernment, essentially, right? So instead of showing discernment and actually, telling you what I want to tell you in the present, well, I was taking the least helpful path instead and changing the message by just delaying it, right? And when we delay awareness, we delay discernment, but not only that, when we delay discernment, we delay regulation, right? Which is to just practice and sit with the process in a way that makes our nervous system feel safe and predictable. And when we delay regulation, we delay integration, right? So that means that we're not fully integrating the whole path, right? The 4 different steps of healing. And when we delay integration, ultimately we delay healing. So, this might be, for example, something comes into the awareness, for example, drinking coffee first thing in the morning, right? It just put me on edge for the rest of my day and layered survival on top of survival. But for years, I kept delaying this awareness, right? I kept not receiving this awareness. So I wasn't showing discernment, wasn't choosing the most helpful path, wasn't regulating as a response, wasn't integrating as a result. So I was delaying my healing. Another example might be, looking at your phone late at night, right? Realizing, wow, this is not helping me sleep, right? But we keep pushing away this awareness. So we keep taking the same path that's unhelpful. We keep not regulating as a response, and we don't integrate the most helpful response, and then we delay our healing some more. Those are just 2 small examples of what I did for years, right? So ask yourself, it doesn't have to be about taking massive action to, receive the awareness and then change everything about your life. It's more about, if you hear the knock on the door, right, that means healing is trying to show you something, right, that deserves your attention, right? So, for example, just acknowledging it out loud, right? If you feel that you need to connect with your soul angel or angels more, right, just saying it out loud, right? Saying how you feel, saying what's in here, right? Getting it out into the open. That's the first step towards discernment, so that you can do something different about it, right? If you feel, for example, something coming into your awareness that maybe you're practicing a habit that's not helpful, right? Just speaking it out and saying how you feel. Speak with your soul angel or angels, right? Receive their guidance so that you can more and more go further on the path and then start making a different choice, right? A different path. And when you go on a different path, then you start to regulate differently. And when you start regulating differently, you start integrating that this is actually who you're becoming, right? And then healing can unfold. So, my dear fellow survivor, I say this with all my heart. Just ask one question. Ask one question about what maybe is knocking at the door in terms of awareness. And then let it enter. You don't have to change everything. Just speak it out loud. What is that awareness? What is it telling you? Right? And just sit with it. And then discernment is a little bit closer once you get it out there in the open. Right? Your soul angel, your soul angels, they're there to receive that and guide you on the path. So I say this with all my heart. Please take good care of yourself. And of course, may you be filled with music in heal.